students are in a double mind. They always feel what is coordinate geometry and what is graph. Because when we talk of coordinate geometry, we talk of x-axis, we talk of y-axis, we talk of line, we talk of equation. This we have done in earlier classes also. And when we talk of graph, it is the same thing. So I want to tell you, coordinate geometry and graph, both is same thing. The only difference in terms of approach, meaning is same, but when we approach it, when we look at it, the only difference is in coordinate geometry, it is algebraical approach towards geometry. We can say that algebraical approach to geometry is coordinate geometry, whereas graph is a pictorial representation. Graph is a pictorial representation. When we draw a picture, that is a graph, right? So like point is given to you, second point is given to you, and when you are drawing graph of it, that is a pictorial definition, pictorial approach. You are drawing x-axis, you are drawing y-axis, you are drawing a line. In fact, you are doing the same thing, but as I said, only in terms of approach. जैसे हम बोलते हैं आधा ग्लास खाली है, आधा ग्लास भरा हुआ है. Approach. When you look at empty side, you say glass is half empty. When you say full side, you say glass is half full. Same way. When you talk of coordinate geometry, it is algebraical approach, and when you talk of graph, it is nothing but pictorial approach towards drawing. Otherwise, thing is same. वही glass है, वही आधा glass भरा हुआ है, आधा glass खाली है. So we'll start with coordinate geometry. That means we are talking of algebraical approach to geometry. So first we'll start with a graph. Now when I say graph, there is x-axis and there is y-axis. So I'll write it down, x dash, graph, normally how we write it, y dash. Now in this graph, if there is a line drawn, if I have drawn one line, and suppose I am not drawing a straight line, I am drawing a bent line. Look at my terms. I am drawing a bent line. In other words, I am drawing a inclination. I am drawing an inclined line. This is a bent line. It's an inclined line, right? So this is inclination. This is an inclined line, and this is the inclination. When I say the angle which is formed with x-axis, positive side of x-axis, that is the inclination. So I'll write the term inclination. So inclination is a term for all those lines which are not straight, right? But if a line is inclined, right? If a line is inclined, obviously that line will make some angle. If name of that angle is theta, then I can call angle made by line L with positive direction of x-axis. This theta is nothing but angle made by line L with positive side of x-axis. This is your theta. This is your x-axis. This is your y-axis. Now in x and y-axis, this is your positive side of x-axis, and this is your negative side of x-axis. So any angle theta which is made with the positive side of x-axis, that is theta, and theta is nothing but inclination. So never get confused. Theta is inclination. When theta is more, inclination is more. When theta is less, inclination is less. Am I correct? You must have observed slope. When a vehicle passes through the road which has got inclination, जब हम कभी hilly area में जाते हैं, mountain area में जाते हैं, or rather any part, when you find a slope, if you're going from down to up, it's a slope. When you're going from up to down, it's a slope. It's a steep, right? So somewhere some angle is formed, that is theta. Now from here we can make out x-axis makes no angle with the inclination. So x-axis has theta. X-axis has theta as 0. If you look at the range of this theta, theta is always greater than or equals to 0. Theta will always be greater than equals to 0, and theta will always be less than equals to 180 degree. The angle range theta will always be greater than equals to 0 and always be less than or equals to 180 degree. Like over here, this line, which is your x-axis, is making 0 degree angle because there is no inclination, right? Y-axis making 90 degree angle, right? Because it is perpendicular. So value of theta will always be between 0 degree and 180 degree. Clear? So this is about inclination. Now lines, if I make one more graph, over here also we have got x-axis and y-axis. Lines which make same angle, don't you think they are parallel? Now over here, suppose this is theta, this is also theta, this is also theta. Don't you think lines which are making same angle are parallel to each other? Lines which has got same inclination are parallel to each other. We can make out from here, right? So things which we have seen now are, first, about inclination, about the angle theta. Theta ranges between 0 degree and 180 degree. Inclination is nothing but angle formed with the positive side of x-axis. That is your inclination, right? That is your inclination. Now we'll talk of slope. We'll talk of slope. Again, x, y, x dash, y dash. Line, theta. Now slope means, first of all tan theta. Slope of any line is tan theta of that line. Slope of any line is tan theta of a line. Again I'll repeat, slope means tan theta. If somebody asks you what's the slope of a line, your answer is tan of theta of that line. Theta, slope means tan theta, that is opposite side upon hypotenuse. Sorry, that is opposite side upon adjacent side. That is slope of a line. So slope is tan theta. So over here, if I name this point as A, B and C, if I join AB, slope means opposite side upon opposite side upon adjacent side. So that gives you AB upon BC. So slope means slope is equal to AB upon BC. Slope of line L is AB upon BC. Why? Because slope is tan theta and tan theta is opposite side upon adjacent side. That is AB upon BC. So this is your slope. Normally, slope is named by alphabet M. नॉर्मली हम लोग स्लोप को नेम करेंगे अल्फाबेट M से. That means slope of any line, we'll call it M. Let M be the slope of a line, right? So theta for the angle, M for naming the slope. So when we name slope by alphabet M. Now we can make out some important conclusions. Slope of x-axis and slope of y-axis. You can make out. X-axis makes no angle. X-axis makes no angle and Y-axis makes 90-degree angle, right? So when angle is not formed, that means angle is 0 degree. Slope of X-axis is equal to tan theta, that is tan 0. Why 0? Because X-axis is not making any angle and tan 0 is 0. Slope of Y-axis is tan theta, that is tan 90 degree. Why 90 degree? Because Y-axis is making 90 degree angle. So slope of Y-axis is tan 90 and tan 90 we cannot define. Not defined. We cannot explain about tan of 90 degree. Why we cannot explain? Because it is something like you are asking for a slope of 90 degree line. This is not a slope. This cannot be defined. It's just a vertical line. So next we'll start with two important concepts of slope and a line. First one. If lines have equal slope, then lines are parallel. Converse of this. If lines are parallel, then slopes are equal. Two important things which we are going to talk now. Based on this, there are a number of sums. First one, if two lines have equal slopes, we can say lines are parallel. Second, if two lines are parallel, we can say that their slopes are equal. Graph XY. Now, if there are two lines drawn with equal slopes, one line, second line. Now, when these two lines have equal slope, these two lines will have equal slope when angle formed is same, because slope of a line is tan of theta. If these two angles are same, I can say that these two lines have equal slope. Again, slope is nothing but the steep this line has got. This is the steep, right? This is slope, right? This is slope. Okay, again, this is your slope. Now, if these two lines have equal slope, we can say lines are parallel. Very easy, you can make out. When these two angles are equal, by alternate angle test, we can say lines are parallel. Right? When these two lines have equal slope, that means thetas are equal. By corresponding angle test, lines are parallel. Right? So, given I can name this line as A, this line as B. Given slope of line A equals to slope of line B, then we can say that line A parallel to line B. This is our result. So if slopes are equal, lines are parallel. Converse of this, we'll draw a graph. This will be required again and again in solving sums. There are two lines given to us parallel, line A, line B. This line is making theta degree angle. So if given to us line A parallel to line B, this is given to us, then we can say slope of line A is equal to slope of line B. Again, when two slopes are equal, when two lines have equal slopes, lines are parallel. Converse, When two lines are parallel, their slopes are equal. Slope is nothing but tan of theta, tan of theta, tan of theta degree angle of that line. That is your slope. Before that we did inclination. Inclination is nothing but a line which angle formed with the positive side of x-axis. Clear?
Choose the right kindergarten, a right bag, and matching bottle to go with. The right school, the right friends. Choose the right subjects and score well. Be an expert in all. The right teacher, and make sure that they like you. Choose the right timing, the right bus, and take a cab if getting late. The right train, and don't stand near the gates. Mind the pockets. Better get into ladies' compartment. Make sure your mustache hasn't started coming. Choose the right study time and forget games. IPL, IHL, rock and metal, guitar, X. The right group and be a model to your brother. Seriously. Choose the right syllabus, the right test paper. Keep guessing questions for exams. Choose the right branch, the right college, the right stream. Choose the right career. Lucky to have a father's business to take care of and a father to allow that. The right counselor, the right form, and make sure the project is submitted on time. Choose the right website and rely on your friends for more information. Oblivious of the sites they have been to, there is no end to your woes. Getting better with every step you climb up the ladder. The summer vacation shorter, the bucket list bigger. The night darker, the books heavier. The only light you have is your friends ahead of you. Probably he is right. Ever thought how he got the direction? No more spending your energy and money on coaching classes. No more missing classes for rain, rally, and nonsense. Get your interest back in subjects through our creative ways of teaching. Doubts, concepts, applications, all explained through one vibrant animation. Subjects covered by multiple teachers with repeat telecasts. Special programs only for basic foundation and paper analysis. Personality development, career counseling, admissions, hobbies, all covered. A new approach to study with long-term perspective. So sit back comfortably in your homes and watch Study Spectrum TV channel.
Next we'll do slope of a line. Slope of a straight line. Passing through 2 points. Passing through 2 points. We'll derive a formula for a slope of a line which is passing through 2 points. XY. So I'm drawing a line. This is your line. Now in this line, there are 2 points. Points are P and Q. This is a point P, point Q. And say this angle is theta. We need to find out slope of this line L in terms of coordinates. What we are doing is, we are finding out slope of a line in terms of coordinates. Now say x1, y1 are the coordinates for point P. For point P, coordinates are x1, y1. And for point Q, coordinates are x2, y2 are the coordinates. Next, what we are doing is, from point P, I am drawing a line parallel to x-axis. From point P, I am drawing a line parallel to x-axis. From point Q also I am drawing a line parallel to x-axis, and from point P I am drawing a line perpendicular to this point. So if I name this point as say A, this point as B, this point as C, so what I have done is drawn perpendicular to vertex X, or rather parallel to y-axis, perpendicular to axis X, or rather parallel to y-axis, and from point P line perpendicular to QB. Right. So given to us, given P has got coordinates x1, y1, Q has coordinate x2, y2, and angle line L making an angle theta with x-axis. Right, line L making an angle theta with x-axis. So construction we are doing PA parallel to y-axis, then QB parallel to y-axis, and PC perpendicular to QB. Now we'll start with the proof. In fact, if you see, we are deriving the result, okay, which will be x2 minus x1 upon y2 minus y1. Okay, the final result of this would be x2 minus, rather it is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Okay, so we are going to derive that result. Before that, have a look now over here. Now this full is, if you look at x2, this full is x2, right? Because point B and point Q, if you look at that distance is x2, x coordinate. This distance is x1, right? So this distance will become what? x2 minus x1. This distance will become x2 minus x1. You getting it? This will become x2 minus x1. Same way, this distance is y2. This is y1. So this will become y2 minus y1. So I am writing now CP is equal to x2 minus x1. Same way, CQ is equal to y2 minus y1. Now, this line is parallel to this line. In other words, we can say that this angle equals to this angle. Why these two angles are equal? Because angle formed, this is theta. Obviously, this will also be theta, right? Also, angle P is equal to theta. Now, slope of PQ, slope of line L, slope of line L is equal to tan theta. Therefore, tan theta equals to opposite side upon adjacent side. That will equal to CQ upon CP, opposite side, adjacent side. Therefore, tan theta equals to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. But slope L means tan theta. Therefore, slope of line L is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. You can write this as y1 minus y2 upon, therefore we can say that slope of line L is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, or we can write this also as y1 minus y2 upon y1 minus y2 upon x1 minus x2. It depends. If you would have taken these coordinates as x1 y1, this as x2 y2, your answer would have been y1 minus y2 upon x1 minus x2. So what we have done in this sum is, हम लोगों ने किसी भी लाइन का स्लोप को एक न्यूमेरिकल फॉर्म में, पॉइंट फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट कर दिया है. हम किसी भी लाइन के स्लोप को पॉइंट फॉर्म से निकाल सकते हैं. इफ अ लाइन इज गिवन टू अस, वो लाइन में दो कोऑर्डिनेट्स हमको मालूम है, दो पॉइंट्स मालूम है, उनके कोऑर्डिनेट्स मालूम है, तो विद द हेल्प ऑफ दोस कोऑर्डिनेट्स वी कैन फाइंड आउट स्लोप ऑफ अ लाइन, दैट इज y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1.